Alrighty, as you can see, winter has made its comeback, and we've really had some cold days in between with some wind chills down into the teens. It's pretty much been almost a week since I left the house, and before you say anything, there's a reason to that. So basically, beginning of December, I had over exasperated my back in pretty much 3 month time frame. And truthfully, it felt like 2016 all over again, where the amount of pain that I've been in, and I've had some really, really bad days that lasted a week. So that's pretty much why I haven't gone out. But I need to get this car cleaned off, and I need to get it started. Well, as you can tell, it has been sitting a while since the last snowfall. And also, as you can tell, the wind have been picking up, dropped some sticks and pine cones on it as well. So the last time I had let the car sit and we had a cold spell, it did not want to start up too well. So let's see how it's going to react today. It's got over 100,000 miles on it, and it is a Chevrolet, so we'll see. Started right up. That's a good thing. So one of the things you can hear that I do have to do is I've got to get this oil changed and get the leak and exhaust addressed. Probably should get a tune-up while I'm at it. So the tires on here are not the best for winter. Matter of fact, I took this out just before the snowstorm and almost got it stuck in mud. Some places I went trying to record some nature sounds. So yeah, we'll see if I can get over this a little bit where the plow went by, because I really don't want to shovel. See if she's going to do it. Oh, with ease, with ease. I'm gonna go run some errands and we'll be back at it. So after 3 stops, the rest of the stuff I am gonna have to order off of Amazon and have it sent. Here we are. It's now almost 50 degrees a few days later. And I'll tell you, I am just so ready for spring at this point. Winter never really came. We had an easy winter. It's been really a bad year for anybody who likes doing any snow-related activities like skiing, snowshoeing, snowmobiling, ice fishing. We maybe had one day that the ice was barely even safe enough to get out on. But yeah, I mean, look at the long-range forecast. It's going to be in the 50s the next couple of weeks, and we're at the end of February. So I say we're probably, I don't want to jinx ourselves and say we're done with winter, but this is New England, and I've seen it get cold and snow right up until the middle of May that it can happen. But yeah, as of right now, looks like we might be heading into the early spring. Maybe that groundhog was right. It's definitely mud season right now with the snow melting and all that. I went to pull into this area because I wanted to walk down and check out and see if there's any frogs, wood frogs in the vernal pools yet, because they usually start coming out and peeping this time of year. Although I haven't seen any red-breasted robins yet, and I haven't seen any rabbits hopping around this area. Plus we also had still a little bit of ice left around the edges of the lake. I went to pull in this spot and I almost got stuck. The wheel started spinning. Went to back up, the wheel started spinning, and it's not even on an incline. It's just very soft and grease-like. So I do hear the birds chirping. I think I'm going to go ahead and get the field recorder out and capture some of the sounds to add to my library. Then we're going to take a walk and see if any of the vernal pools up in another area might have the wood frogs mating yet, because it's getting about that time of year that they start coming out, the end of February through April. It's just I can't stay parked too long in this area because it is a road, even though nobody comes back here. It's actually on state property, and I can't get down to the parking spot because of the mud. I'll just be spinning my tires, and I really don't want to block that other area of the road that goes up through there. So I think I'm going to get out the sound recorder for a little bit and then maybe take a short walk and check out some of the vernal pools and see what they're looking like this early in the season. Well, it looks like the vernal pools are still frozen over, so probably got a couple weeks left before the wood frogs start coming out. Yeah, I may look funny right now, but this is the only orange hat I have on, and still need to wear orange for the next week or two. I also got to be careful because it is coyote mating season. Haven't seen any out in the woods lately, but believe it or not, the city of Johnston actually had a coyote attack. It was in the news. The guy actually got attacked in his own backyard and he strangled it. He jumped to hold the coyote that was attacking him and strangled it. And it was actually reported that the DM took the coyote and it was determined to be rabid, so definitely got to be careful. I think I'm gonna take a look around the pond, and then not sure if I want to check out any of the other vernal pools because of the one here on the lower elevation had some ice still on it. There was another one thawed out, but there were no frogs in it yet. So take a look around the pond and decide where I want to go next. A couple weeks ago, I posted a video out on my channel about our dying woodlands, and it's just, other than the wind out here right now, it is just so quiet. I love quiet, but I also miss seeing my birds and hearing my birds. So even the Audubon Society has said that our birds here in Rhode Island are actually on a major decline, especially out in the woodlands. We still have some in the suburbs that are going to feeders and hanging out around people's houses, but out in the woodlands, it's in a major decline. So, all right, I'm gonna check out a little more. It's just a beautiful day out here. All right, I don't know if the camera is really picking this up, but we got some ice on the pond, not much. So yeah, those wood frogs aren't gonna be out yet. I don't know, the amount of rain we got, even though we didn't get much snow, I would have expected this impoundment area for the water level to be higher. It's not really that high. So I don't see any human tracks up through here, but take a look at these tracks. That tells me that possibly a large coyote has been up through here. You can definitely see the claw marks and everything. I mean, here's a good one right here. Put my hand for reference. That's a pretty big one. I mean, check out the size of this one. Wow, that's pretty much the palm of my hand without my fingers. That's pretty big. That's a very big coyote or something. So even though the last 5 months have really not been that great with everything that's been going on, and it's really been rough the last 3 months dealing with this back issue, even though I really don't go far from the car, I still really like getting out in these natural areas. I know it's going to be a long road, you know, over exasperations, 2 of them in a 5-month period, and then the second one feeling like 2016 all over again when I injured my back. Yeah, it's going to be a long road, I got a feeling. Hopefully not another 4 years like it took from the initial injury, but we're just going on where we go from here. Every chance I get, even though I can't really wander too far off from the car anymore, before I start hurting, I really still like to get out. I am really looking forward to this spring with the warmer temperatures and get rid of all the snow that barely happened once and for all for the year. But I don't know, next 2 weeks looks like we're getting a lot more rain in our forecast again, so hopefully it's not going to be like last summer. Yep, one of these nice couple of days, if it doesn't rain too hot, I definitely got to clean this vehicle out and get it ready for adventure season. Got to get it into the shop, get the oil change done, get it tuned up, get the exhaust looked at, and then also probably going to have to schedule to see if the transmission needs any maintenance, and I would like to find out what's going on in the air conditioning for this coming summer, but that's a little ways out. Need to get through tax season first, because who knows this year. It's been really a strange year, so who knows what's going to happen with tax season. Another beautiful 60-degree day. I'm hoping that long-range forecast is not an indicator of what this year is going to look like, because I really do not want another rainy year. Rain is good, but not what we got last year. I really want to get out and enjoy it, so hopefully not another rainy pattern, but the next week or so looks very, very rainy. Oh yeah, definitely got some cleaning to do. Whew. What a mess. This is what happens when you're constantly out on adventures, hauling stuff, everything. Just don't have time. Beautiful 60-degree day, time to clean. Alrighty, that is looking much, much better. So probably could have used to vacuum it and take it to the car wash, but still somewhat winter, even though it's the end of February and 60 degrees. We're in mud season, so that's not going to happen. But got the inside cleaned. For a 16-year-old vehicle that is used for constant adventures, you are not going to get every stain out of it, but I think it's looking much, much better than what it did. Got all that nastiness all cleaned up right through there. So I didn't bother going ahead and putting the seats back up. The reason being is got more stuff I got to take up to Goodwill. Got more adventures planned. Plus I got to take a bike up to my niece at some point during this spring. So it's only my wife and I. Nobody really sits in the back seat, so it ends up staying down for most of the summer because of the adventures and other stuff I got going on. Well, I had said I would never go back to a huge tackle box for all my tackle, between the weight, the carrying it around and everything. But here's the thing. When I go saltwater fishing, I am mostly by the vehicle anyway. Usually my vehicle is right behind me as I'm fishing offshore, and I've outgrown the little sling bag that I had. So got the big boy. This should last me for a while. So let's get it home, get all my saltwater gear all organized into that, and I'll be all set for the summer. So even with getting the big tackle box, I'm still not giving up on the sling bags, because the sling bags are just so convenient if you want to like walk out on a jetty, or if you have to park and walk a little bit to get down to the water, because I would not be carrying that thing. But if I'm parked on a shoreline, like when I go to Fort Wetherill and a few other places where my car is like right there and I'm sitting up against it, being able to have everything all sorted instead of reaching in a sling bag and risking getting my hands in the hook. And then got some power bait for trout. Trout season's right around the corner. Then I have to go through my regular freshwater tackle, see what I got. Also need to tie a few more flies, although I got a bunch of flies that I've been picking up over the last few years, but I need to tie a few more flies because I've got a lot of fly tying stuff. Other than probably needing to replace a few of my saltwater reels, I am ready for the summer. I'm ready to get out there camping. I am ready to get out there fishing. I just hope things go well, because you know what I've said earlier in the video. But yeah, I'm getting ready for the summer. I'm hoping to have a good year this year, but we'll see. We'll see how things go. So this is exactly what I was talking about. Got string hanging out, box that won't even properly close anymore. Another box back there, miscellaneous tackle there, miscellaneous tackle there, other tackle down there. Got exposed hooks all over the place. Just a hazard. And yep, unfortunately, didn't even get to use the ice fishing stuff this year. So that kind of just sit. Alright, let's get this cleaned up. Oh yeah, then I got this little bag over here with more saltwater stuff in here. Yeah, all this needs to be organized. Okay, so like I said, all this came out of that sling bag. It's a lot of stuff that was stuffed in there, unorganized. Hard to find, frustrating to fish with. Boxes over there got broken latches on them. We got half open packages, exposed hooks. Just a complete hazard to stick your hand in and to try to find something. So let's get that packed and get organized. Oh my god, that is a hazard. Look at all those hooks just all jumbled up. Oh man, reach in there, grab something. Definitely gonna end up with a hook in a hand for sure. While this new saltwater box is all packed, I'm gonna go ahead and take you on a tour of it. Show you exactly what we got. But there is one thing I do need to show you. Right here, these are all J hooks. And unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on how you look at it, here in Rhode Island, using J hooks for striped bass if you're using natural baits, and that would include your squids, your mullets, your bunkers, and also some people use shrimp. I have used shrimp up here in New England for to tog when we couldn't get crabs during COVID. So primarily all of New England, but especially Rhode Island, has switched over that you have to use circle hooks when you're fishing for striped bass. So I switched over to using circle hooks for everything when I use natural baits, because I'm not going to take the chance of a game warden or a DEM agent or wildlife officer being around and I hook into a striper when I was actually fishing for like blues or tuna or something else. So everything has been switched over to using circle hooks. So let me go ahead and take you on a tour of the new tackle box. Okay, so this is the new box. No longer do I feel like I'm going to be risking getting a hook in my hand, sticking my hand in a bag with all exposed hooks and everything. So right on top, move this back a little bit. A lot of the fishing that I do is bottom fishing, where I use squid, clams. I have used shrimp up here in New England, although you don't hear too many people use it. Haven't really used too many crabs because they've been hard to get. But bottom fishing, you're going to lose a lot of tackle on rocks, cables, the lobster traps that have snapped off their ropes and are sitting on the bottom, and other debris. So we have our weights. Primarily I use 3 ounce. So I got all the circle hooks right there. And as you can see, I didn't think I actually had that much. That was all buried in the bag, so I'm not going to have to buy any of that for a while. Moving over to this side, as you can see, I have my glove and my pliers for removing hooks and handling fish that have teeth or bloodworms. And yes, I've actually had a bloodworm attached to me, and it doesn't feel that good. Open up the top. So in the top, you can see I have my bottom riggers off to the left, extra line, another rigger there, a ruler to make sure I'm legal. All my plastics that are mostly look like eel type things, the jig heads for the plastics, and I've got little tiny jig heads for the crabs for when I'm fishing for tautog. Come over here. This right here is actually the same as what came in this box, but if you notice, because it has the red, it's actually different, but it's the same size, same exact little utility tray. So considering it's the same exact one and it fit and it was already organized, I just went ahead and swapped out what was already organized versus the empty one. So in here I got various swim baits, I got some surface jigs, got some diving jigs. That's that side. This side, and as you can see, this is one of the boxes that came with it. Exact same thing as the other side. I've got more swim baits, I've got rooster tails, more topwater baits, and I also got my squid jigs. So I'm going to be doing some squidding. Hopefully get some squid because calamari is good. And if I don't eat it, I can use it as bait. So moving on to the center. This one is empty still. I need to get some more swim baits to fill that up. This one here, I have a few diving lures in it. A couple topwater lures. As you can see, it's still mostly empty. This one here has a few topwater and some diving lures. Also got some things that look like a bunker in it. Oh, that's the other thing. And this one here, you can see it also has some things that look like mullet. So I got some things that look like bunker. Got various lures in there. So yeah, we're pretty much all ready for salt water. Feeling safe. Not going to be sticking any hooks in my hands. And next saltwater show, I need to get some more saltwater swim bait. That's the new saltwater box. So pretty much once I put that box in my car, it's going to live there all summer unless I need to take it out and go camping somewhere freshwater and I need the room. That's the new saltwater box. Now I got to get ready for freshwater. So one of the other things I'm doing to get ready for spring is I want to actually start doing on-location podcasts, multi-person, with people that are in my niche, the outdoor space. So I got a few people on mind that I want to bring on my show, and I really can't do it here in the apartment because of the fact of this is my personal living space. So yeah, I want to do it on location, so I've been getting ready. So over the past few months, I've been slowly getting the gear that I need. So this is my what I'm going to call my podcasting bucket. So in here I picked up some tabletop microphone stands. Got those really cheap. The guy was getting rid of them. He said he used to rent all this stuff out from his music store, but since COVID happened, a lot of meetings went away and more people are using Zoom. So people are really not doing like the in-person round table type thing. So he let these go for $15 each. These are like $40 to $50 tabletop mic stands. He threw in the clips for free. That little bag contains all like different connectors and adapters. Everything in there I picked up for like $1 each and tested it. All works good. XLR cables, I really didn't skimp on those. It seems like the average price of XLR cables in the 15 to 20 foot range are running between $17 and $20 across all brands. So I picked those up. I already did a video about the Zoom H6. In the little tray here, I've got other types of connectors. Got a T-bar. Yeah, these are the Rode Video Micros that go on top of a camera. I've got a few of those. That way there, if I have any extra people, I can set that up if I have more than 4 people. And then I just got this in. These here are actually overhead condenser pencil mics, mostly used for miking up drum sets and musical instruments. They sounded pretty good for a voice too, so considering the price of them was only $35, I did a video on them about how they're a confusing little mic when working with the Zoom recorders, but I tested them with the H6 with the one I got for $10 at Savers. I think I actually got it at Savers. But yeah, these are only $35 each, so I got these in, and I'm going to go through and test them. And basically that gives me all the gear to do on-location podcasts. And also with the condenser overhead mics, I can actually use them if somebody wants me to go ahead and do something like record an acoustic set for them, or record them doing a demo song or something like that. I'm not sure how much I'm going to get into all the event recording I used to do, because the music scene here in Rhode Island is pretty much dead right now. It died a long time ago. Not sure if it's going to make a comeback. I really do miss working with the bands, but there's also some aspects of it I don't miss, like being in a crowded bar, especially with the amount of equipment. I mean, back in the day when I used to do it, I used to have like my little Sony Handycam, and I used to run around, but nowadays you're talking about much more elaborate setups, and I'm just not sure I really want to get back into a crowded bar or a club scene with that. But if somebody was looking to do like an acoustic set at a coffee house or something, I might be up for that. But yeah, all set to do the on location podcast, and hopefully add that to my YouTube channel. Spinner bait. Cheap little pole holders. More power bait. Alrighty, looks like the trout bag is ready to go. I don't take that much stuff with me when I go trout fishing, because a lot of places I go don't have bass. It's mostly all just pretty much trout fishing I'm doing, or if they stock salmon. So that bag's ready to go. So the sling bag for fly fishing is empty right now. That's because I have really got a collection of flies. Both of these are full, so I basically will take a few of the different types, put them in the smaller holders, and then use a sling bag when I'm fly fishing. Basically, these type of holders is what I'm talking about. So now, I'm going to take that box downstairs, take this, which is all full of loose hook. Actually, that's going to go in my trout bag. I got to go through and organize all the freshwater stuff for the year. Alright, let's see what we got for the freshwater stuff. So that small bag right there works out great for the kayak. I have taken this bigger one out on the kayak. I mean, it does work, but it gets a little bit cramped with it being between my legs. But if I'm bass fishing and I think I want to take all that stuff, I will take the big one. That box is mostly new stuff I picked up, so let's go through and see what we got. Catfish bait, I can tell you this stuff does not work. I've never got a bite, never caught anything on it. To me, I'm never going to buy this stuff again. Got a freshwater shiner that needs to go in one of these boxes. Extra line. Got pliers for removing hooks. This is all pretty much organized. It's basically freshwater rooster tails. I haven't tried these out yet. This is something I'd probably fish from a kayak in deeper water because some of the heads are so heavy, but we'll give those a try. They're mostly for walleye, and we don't have walleye in this area, but I don't know. Some people said they're good for bass and pickerel and northern pike, so we're going to give those a try. And I got a few of those and a tube in there. Like I said, mostly I take this bag out on the kayak so it stays pretty much empty until I put in it what I need. Let's move over to this bag. So this bag gets bounced around between the kayak and the back of the truck. This box right here has some weights in it, a couple of floats. It's got my swivels in it. This will get put in the trout bag or this freshwater, depending on what I'm going out for that day. I got the crawl bug kit, and I got more crawl bugs in here. I got the different size jig heads depending on how deep the water is and how fast I want it to sink, but that's the crawl bug kit. Crawl bug kit has been great for bass, especially one of the lakes I go to. Alright, this thing here has got basically all my top waters in it. It's a little bit overpacked, and this pretty much leads me to do I want to get one of those big boy tackle boxes for my freshwater stuff, and then just take what I need for the kayak. Since most of the time I do freshwater from the shore, and that box would just pretty much stay in the back of the truck, and then just take out what I think I'm going to need when I go out on the kayak. This here has got basically some diving lures. As you can see, that's pretty much overpacked as well. Got some more weights, hooks, floaters. This is pretty much kind of an everything goes type thing. This here has got all my loose plastics in it. Got my knife for cutting up any bait. Really need to make sure I have one of these in my salt water because I don't recall seeing one. Moving over to the side pocket. Got more plastics. These right here are more plastics. Some of these actually came in one of those mystery tackle boxes. One year I had a real good hit on bubble gum. Guy told me to try bubble gum. Usually I stick to the black with the either green or the blue flake. That always seems to work the best. Alright, front pocket. Got some different type weighted floaters in here. The stringer. And the scale. Alright. Leave those back in there. Moving over to this side. This is all the weedless hooks for the crawdads and the plastic. See in the back I got a couple more pole holders. Fishing license. Got to renew that for this year. These are catfish bait chunks. I can tell you, I've never caught anything on these. I don't think they work. And this little thing is just the rain cover. And then in the box that we got, which is all brand new stuff, I got that type of plastics. These little frog looking things for top water offshore. Don't see those much. I picked those up at the last show. You don't see those in store much. I got some hagramite looking things. Again, this is more flies that need to go with my fly fishing stuff. Got a big old swim bait, looks like a shiner. And got some, what do they call these things? Actually, they don't really call them anything, but they're kind of like plastic springy worms with a kind of natural coloring. So thinking it might be time to move on to a big boy box for the freshwater stuff as well, and then just keep the bags for days that I take the kayak out. Yep, let's see what I can get packed up and organized. Everything is all organized and it fit in this bag. So the little bag that I would take out on the kayak is totally empty. I can throw stuff in there for what I think I'll need for out in the kayak is small enough. This to go in the back of the truck for when I'm fishing offshore and I'm right at the truck. Everything fit in there. So I don't think I'm going to go ahead and get the big box for freshwater. And to be honest with you, when it comes to freshwater fishing, I believe I have enough stuff right now. Enough lures and all that. I'm not going to pick up anything else unless it really strikes me as being something extremely different, because a lot of the stuff I look at, especially when it comes to plastic baits, all looks the same just by different vendors, and the same thing with some of the lures. So I don't think I'm going to be getting any more freshwater lures for the summer. Like I said, unless I see something that's totally unique that I've never seen before. The next two shows that I'm going to try to attend, one of them is an outdoor show, so it's going to have hunting, fishing, camping, and all that stuff. And then the other one is strictly saltwater, so I'm not going to be worried about seeing any freshwater stuff there. And I may pick up a few saltwater things, but the one that's the hunting, fishing, and camping, I'm not sure if I'm going to buy anything there or not, because of the fact that, like I said, I pretty much have all the freshwater lures that I use and need. I do need a few other saltwater stuff. I have all the camping stuff that I need because I don't have a rail camper. I just have the small backpacking tent and the back of the SUV. If I had a camper or a van, it'd be a little bit different. I might look at some different gear as opposed to what I'm using now, but I pretty much have all the camping gear that I need, unless something very unique speaks to me that, yeah, this would be great to have as opposed to what I have now. And then the saltwater gear, I do need a few other things. It seems like the only thing that I can find that's unique is at these shows, because your big box stores and some of your bait stores, it's all the same everywhere you go. All the same brands, all the same type of baits. The only thing different that I seen was at the New England Fishing Expo, and I wish I really would have picked out some more saltwater stuff there. So that's pretty much what I'm going to be targeting. I do need some more saltwater reels, but those can get expensive. And I'm going to be going through my freshwater poles and really taking a look at them. Last year I said it was going to be the last season with them, but I don't know. I may try to stretch out one more season with my freshwater poles. Saltwater, I got enough rods. I just need the reels because my reels are starting to age, and saltwater, no matter how much you rinse them off, just kills reels. I'm going to take a look at the freshwater poles and see if I really need to retire some of those. So I will give you one tip when it comes to getting ready for your adventures, especially if you're into fishing. And that would be print out multiple copies of your fishing license. And make sure you sign every one of those copies, because I've run into some game wardens, and I've actually was told by a head game warden that having a copy on your phone is legal. But there are game wardens out there that are old school. They require you to have that paper copy on you and to have it physically signed with ink. So the tip I'm going to give you is to be printing out multiple copies of your fishing license. Now, I keep one in my freshwater tackle bag. I keep one in my saltwater tackle bag, or actually tackle box for this year. I keep one in my trout bag. I keep one in my fly bag. And I also keep one in the car and a one on my phone. And you may think that's overkill, but I look at it this way. I never have to worry about where my fishing license is. You know, if I'm going out saltwater one day and then the next day I go out for fresh, I don't have to remember to grab my license out of my saltwater bag, put it in my freshwater one. You know, it's always with whatever gear that I have, and I don't have to worry about it. Because I've been stopped several times by a game warden, and let me tell you, even though you have it with you, they get a little impatient if it's on your phone. And I've been fly fishing in a pond, and I've actually had it pinned to my hat one year, and the game warden still asked me to step out of the pond, take it out of the plastic holder so that he could make sure the dates on it were legal. And then I also had my trout stamp. So this is why I keep multiple copies, one in each bag for every type of fishing that I'm doing. A digital copy on my phone in case something happens to that, and one also in the truck. You can see the fly rods are leaned up against the wall. Those are all ready to go. This is the mess that I need to go through next. I need to check out the poles, see what I'm keeping, what needs to get redone. Like I said, I mostly need saltwater reels, because I've got several rods here that do not have reels on them that are saltwater. And I've only got two actual saltwater reels. That was more for down rigging. That one was given to me. I've never used it yet because I don't go out on a boat. I need to go through and figure out the freshwater one next. This thing here, I never told you about this. I was going to say, this one here has seen a lot better days. Believe it or not though, the rod is actually still in good condition, and the reel works very good for how it looks. I actually reeled that in one day. I got snagged on something on the bottom. I reeled it up slowly, and that's what came up. It actually works great, despite its looks. I mean, it is looking rusty from being in the water for so long, but it actually works good, and it's actually got braided line on it. So probably going to try using that one this summer as well. I think the freshwater rods and reels that I have will probably last one more season. If something does malfunction, I'll replace it then. I don't think I'm going to go out and buy anything right now. So basically I need some more saltwater swim baits and some better saltwater reels to go on the rods that I already have. Other than that, I think I am ready. I am ready for the summer. Ready for summer adventures. Now I just need to make sure that the income is there to do it, and also we'll see how my back goes, because yeah, like I told you at the beginning of this video, got some things going on with that. But I don't know, I'd rather be stuck sitting around a campsite than to be stuck in the house. As you can see outside, it is raining again. We have been stuck in a wet, rainy pattern for the last over a year, with just maybe a few days of sunshine in between. So, and the next 2 weeks, long range forecast, it's showing it's going to rain just about every day. So I hope this is not going to be another year of just rain. I mean, I've got the rain gear that I don't mind going out fishing in, unless it's absolutely downpouring. But camping, I don't like camping in the rain. I don't like packing up wet gear. You can't have a fire. I've got an SUV, so sitting in the SUV would not be all that much fun. And I don't like packing up a wet tent, so hopefully we don't have another rainy year like last year. They're saying that we might. Hopefully not. Alrighty, well that's going to do it for my getting ready for adventure season video. To me, adventure season runs from whenever we get rid of all the snow and ice for good and we start getting some nice consistent 55 to 60 degree temperatures in the spring, all the way up through to how much cold and snow I can tolerate before I actually get sick of winter and don't want to deal with it anymore. We got fishing season coming up in the spring. We got camping season coming up. We got hunting season in the fall. Like to go camping all 3 seasons, and then winter takes over where there's still hunting. Haven't really had any ice for ice fishing this year, and don't know if I'm going to get any for next year. And then like to do a little bit of hiking in the snow, but sometimes yes, sometimes no. So we'll go ahead and we'll see you in the next video.